problem for masses of people becoming Shia, or for masses of people coming into our religion, or from Shias leaving the religion because of such thing, then it may become haram in certain circumstances. Drinking water within itself is halal. If you're a sick person, drinking water in the month of Ramadan is halal. But if you're drinking in front of other people that are thirsty and you're breaking the preciousness of the month of Ramadan, it becomes haram. So drinking water becomes haram in certain circumstances. Again, certain things that are haram become halal in certain circumstances. So it's not always black and white. There's always grey areas as well that one must look at. And those grey areas change with time. Therefore, ijtihad changes with time. Now, I think there's another.
We will come back to this, inshallah. We're going
but what I wanted to do is our brother who asked this question. I don't know if I've answered it fully, but I would like him to call back with anything else that's on his mind.
Inshallah, we've got 10 minutes left, but yeah, inshallah, we're going to take this call, and then if the brother Hussein, I believe his name is, wants to call back, then please do. Okay, it seems as though we've missed that call has dropped. So yeah, let's go back to this. What we were just discussing a minute ago. Times do change, but does that negate the development of the advancement of knowledge in the space of time, whether it's 15 years or so since Sayyid al-Khoi died? The advancement that our maraji have made. Let's not just talk about science, for example. Let's just talk, because obviously the issues that arise in this day and age are different. I'm not talking necessarily about that. I'm just saying that even though he may have done a lot of research, as you said, with the issue of Ahlul Kitab, he wasn't too sure, and other maraji have come later and said, well, no, this is our rulings. Can we not see this as an advancement from his stance until now? Are you understanding where I'm coming from?
You see, the problem is, you're comparing knowledge of the fiqh and usul and our knowledge to medical science and other sciences that are constantly progressing. You see, it's not the Quran that progresses or the hadith, it's the people that progress.
True.
So for example, an engineer may have different understanding to certain ayahs in the Quran. A physician might understand the Big Bang from the Holy Quran. Mathematicians might find the number of the ayahs very fascinating, of what they mean, and all the numerical codes that exist in the Quran.
Sure.
Yes. So everyone derives what they can from the Holy Quran. So those don't change. It's our mindsets that do change.
Okay.
Now, the point is, if with those being said, we find that there is a person who is capability to extract those rulings is far beyond anyone else's, and their ingenious is far more than other people's, there is no reason to put his work to the side and say, okay, because it's 15 years ago, let's go to the next person now.
Okay, we've got the caller back. Sorry to interject there. Hello, assalamu alaikum. Welcome to ahlebait TV.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Your name and where you're calling from, please, brother.
My name is Muhammad Abdul. I'm calling from Burkina Faso.
You're calling from Burkina Faso?
Burkina State, Nigeria.
Okay, is that Yogi State, I think you said, yeah? Nigeria. Kogi State, Nigeria. Kogi State, yes.
No, not Kogi, Bauchi.
Bauchi State, Bauchi, okay. Sorry, I'm from Nigeria as well. I didn't hear you properly. Thank you. Bauchi State, Nigeria. And your question, thank you for calling in for such a long way away. What is your question, please, brother? Seems as though we've dropped that call. But it's nice just to hear these calls from such a long way away.
But just I just remembered there was another part to our brother's question. Yes, as I said, if he's got more questions, he can call back. But he said, with regards to Ahl Khibra, I don't have time to go and search for it. Look, at the end of the day, all the time that you do have, or the Ahl Khibra that you do trust, for example, you go to Najaf, and you know X person has no reason to lie, or has no benefit, worldly benefit, to say anything other than the truth. Between me and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this person's a'lam. In fact, if you look at today, if you had heart surgery, you spend a day, 2 days, 3 days searching for the best heart surgeon. they'll give you 3 names, and you'd pick one. And if anything, God forbid, happened to you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wouldn't say, why did you go to the second one or the third one? At the end of the day, you did all you could, you did your research, and this was the best you came up with. Again, the only things to watch out when it comes to marja is not necessarily that this person is slightly a'lam the other, or this person is slightly a'lam or the other, more knowledgeable than the other one, but instead, as long as their ideology and aqa'id are fine, and they're not black sheep in front of everyone else, and they've made statements that are against our belief, then it's fine.
So,
slight differences, no one's going to come and hammer you down or judge you for if in real life and in the true ahkam and in the day of judgment you find out that one person was slightly more than the one that you chose. This is not going to be a problem, inshallah.
This in the few minutes remaining, this is something that you've mentioned all throughout this discussion, is the most knowledgeable, or the most regarded. If this is the main, if you like, condition by which we should identify who we should do the taqleed of, the question that arises to me is, why are there so many maraja out there? If everybody should be following the most learned, why is there not one individual, or let's just say even maybe just 2 individuals who are both claiming to be, and then maybe people are indecisive as to which one is slightly higher than the other? Why is this? Why is there this discrepancy?
If you studied for 60 years, or 10 years, or 15 years, or whatever, and I studied for the same period, or more, or less, and you studied the books and I studied the books, and we both came to the degree of ijtihad, and people wanted to follow us. People don't need permission from me to follow me, they can follow me if they've got my rulings. Yes? Mm-hmm. As far as you're concerned, you don't see yourself less knowledgeable than me, nor do I see myself less knowledgeable than you. So there's no reason why I can't write a risala and write my book of what I believe is the ahkam, and there's no reason why you can't write your book, and the second person, and the third person, and the fourth person. It's down to the people and our students to judge who's most knowledgeable.
Granted. So we have, let's say, 100 people who believe that they are at the level of ijtihad, and so they all write their books. And I'm saying through the process of elimination, by default, surely at some stage, the one who is the most knowledgeable should be identified at the very least by having the most followers. So, out of 100, the 50th one has, say, 20% of the followers in the world. Then by default, based on this criteria of the most knowledgeable, shouldn't everybody else then say, well, hang on a minute, everybody else...
What you assumed was one of the criteria for the a'lamiyya, for the sunni who's most knowledgeable, is who has the most followers. If that was the case, then we'd have no problems. No one would have a problem. We'll just see who's got the most followers and would you follow them. That's not the case. It may be that everyone's following a person who's not even a mujtahid. It doesn't make it right for me to follow that person. If I know he's not a mujtahid, 100 million people are following it. It makes it no better. So the number of mughallid doesn't prove anyone's knowledge at all.
So how could I identify, for example, I wanted to try and find the most knowledgeable now. I shouldn't use the number of followers that a maraja has.
As I said, ahlul khabra, or what is fame between the ahlul khabra and between the scholars. So between the knowledgeable people, it is famous that this person is the most knowledgeable. The ijtihad obviously is very easy to obtain with the sound of the but far above it,
inshallah.
The a'lamiyya.
Unfortunately, this is a topic that needs a lot more discussion, inshallah, and I would love to maybe play around, or not play around, but propose this issue of an institution as well. Especially maybe, inshallah, if we can have an opportunity to meet again on another show, is maybe looking at, is there a possibility in the future where all of the maraja' can focus on a particular area, so that we have even a greater, if you like, a more robust set of rules.
Two things, most important, that I want to emphasize now. So you see, the dua starts with the words Ilahi, O Allah. So this is an address to Allah directly. You are the one to help me. Anta al-musta'an. You are my helper. Wa ilayka al-mushtaka, and I complain to you. Wa alayka al-mu'awwalu fi shiddati wa raha. And I trust you. My faith and hope and trust is in you, both in my miseries and in my good fortunes. Now, the reason why I wanted to discuss this dua to the youths in particular is that I was once speaking in another center in London. Different subject. I was not even speaking on ilahi al-bala. And well, when I saw an alim and he was dressed in his karbala and a black turban, so I knew he was a Sayyid. When he raised his hand, of course I gave him priority. But you see, we've got to be careful these times because some of these people come in the wrong garb. He called himself a SHIA Sayyid, and he questions me and says, what do you say about that dua which starts ilahi al-bala? I will not detain you on that history. In less than a minute I'll finish this part of the story to come to the main point. He says, what do you say about that dua ilahi al-bala? And I mentioned to him the authorities that I mentioned to you. I said, well, I regard that as authentic. The first book that comes to our mind is Mafatih al-Jinan, that Sheikh Mafatih al-Jinan has reported this from the 12th Imam alayhi salam. Fortunately, I remembered the account of Allama Tabrasi alayhi rahmah. Put that to him. He says, oh, this is all Shia fabrication. All this is not authentic because reciting this dua is shirk. And there is guna in it. I said, look, I cannot accept that at all. It's taught by an Imam alayhi salam, an Imam who was sent by Allah to stop us from shirk. If there is anybody who will teach us to keep away from shirk, it would be him. He would not be doing the contrary. But I said, this is not my subject, it's not a matter for discussion now, and I will not permit you to take time of the audience on that subject and cut him short. But I realize that there are agencies within us who are promulgating this, and I thought we better make this clear. You can see from the first paragraph of this dua, it is a dua to Allah.
Imamia Medics International is delighted to announce the establishment of the annual medical camp to Karbala. A 10-member professional delegation is traveling to Iraq towards the end of January 2010 and shall be serving pilgrims during ahlebait in Karbala. However, this will only be the first of several trips to Karbala every year, and a second delegation will be heading out in May 2010. To make this project a success, we are inviting all doctors and healthcare professionals from around the world to be part of this service. All interested parties should contact Brother Hassan Kanji and Dr. Ghulam Mehdi Sumai.